Okay, so this is our guided practice, page 42. Just a little extra help if you need it for lesson 2.2. And let's do problem number 1 together. Then you're going to do problems 3 and 5 yourself, and we'll look at the answers. So on problem number 1, 58,927, they want us to write this in scientific notation. They give us a hint to move the decimal 4 places to the left. So I'm going to write down the number over here because I need space, and that just is not enough space for me. So I don't see my decimal point, so I know it's at the very far right of the number. And if I want this in scientific notation, I need to write this, or excuse me, move this decimal point over 1, 2, 3, 4 spaces. By moving over 4 spaces, I leave one number out in front, just one digit, and it has to be 1 or higher, but of course less than 10, because 10 is 2 digits. 5 is higher than 1 and less than 10, so 5 will work. So for my answer, I'm going to do 5 decimal point 8,927. Those are all significant digits. The only digits I'm allowed to drop is if I had any zeros on the far end. And then I always use times 10, and then I need a power. My power comes from how many spaces I move it. 1, 2, 3, 4. So I moved it 4 spaces. My power is 4. Now you try 3 and 5 on your own, and then come on back. Okay, so here are my answers for 3 and 5. Looking at problem 3, I rewrote it over here. So what I did was I located my decimal point and moved 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 spaces. I kept my significant digits, dropped all those zeros, and my 6 spaces is my 6. Now let me tell you, on problem number 5, I'm not writing that one over again. I just started counting, and since these are in groups of 3, I went 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 18, 21, 22. So there's my 22 came from, and I kept my significant digits and got rid of all those zeros. So, and I also labeled this. This was a word problem, and this number represents atoms, so I did label it. Okay, so here's the other half. These are the even number problems. I split them up because it would be just too much on one page. So give a shot at this one, and then we'll come back and look at some answers. Okay, so the answer for number 2 I have is going to be 1 and 304 hundredths, or I'm sorry, thousandths, times 10 to the 9th. So I took my decimal point and moved it over 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9 spaces. I got rid of any insignificant zeros and kept everything else. For number 4, I have 1 and 33 hundredths times 10 to the 4th. Again, I located my decimal point, moved 1, 2, 3, 4 spaces, got rid of any insignificant zeros, kept the important numbers, and there's my 4 spaces. The distance from Earth to the Moon is about 385,000 kilometers. Locate my decimal point, move 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 spaces. That gives me 3 and 84 hundredths times 10 to the 5th. Remember, that's how many spaces. And I did label this with kilometers because this is a word problem. Very nice. I appreciate that you tried, even if you made a mistake, because we learn from our mistakes. Alrighty, so moving on, they want us to write each of these numbers in standard notation, and that's the way that we typically see a number, it's standard notation. So let's try number 7 together. So here I have the number 4, and they want me to move the decimal point 5 spaces to the right. Because this is a positive number, I want this to grow larger. Move 5 places to the right. So I'll move over 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And in those empty spaces, I have to fill in with a 0. So that leaves me at the answer of 400,000. Notice this is my scratchy work. It does not go in my answer. My answer doesn't have any scratchy work on it. So try 9 and 11, and we'll be back. Okay, so my answer for number 9 is 6,410. And this told me to take my decimal point and move it 3 spaces to make the number larger. 1, 2, 3. That's where it ended up. It ended up right there, but I don't have to put it on. But I have to fill in a 0. Now for number 11, here's my decimal point. Move it 5 spaces. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Fill in all those zeros. So that would be 800,000. Good job. Okay, so here are the evens, 8, 10, and 12. You try these, and we'll come right back and look at them. Okay, back again. So here they want me to take this decimal point and move it 9 spaces to the right. So when I move 1, 2, 3, 4 spaces, when I move 4 spaces, I'm past all the digits they gave me. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and I had to fill in zeros. On number 10, I moved 1, 2, 3, 4 spaces. No, that was wrong. I moved 1, 2, 3 spaces. I got all excited. So 3 spaces and then 4, 5, 6, 7 spaces. So 7 spaces altogether. On number 12, the decimal point's right after the 9. It's right here after the 9. And we don't see it, it's right after it. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 spaces. Let me put some commas in here because this number's so big. There you go. Some commas help out. Commas kind of keep the numbers under control. Whoops. All right, very nice. Remember, you make a mistake, you make a mistake. You just fix it and you learn. Okay, and these are the last 2 problems, 13 and 14, that we're going to do on page 42. Number 13, Diane calculated, and number 14, the town recycled. So read these problems out. They put them in word problems, but you're doing the same kind of thing. So you're going to take the number they gave you and write it in standard notation, and take the number they gave you and write it in standard notation. So come on back after you give it a try. Okay, so here's my decimal point, and this is where it used to be. It said move 4 spaces to the right. 1, 2, 3, 4. I moved my 4 spaces. I labeled it as seconds because we are dealing with the seconds, how much time she took to do her math homework in October. We don't really calculate seconds. I would say it's either minutes or hours, but that's a different problem. Okay, the town recycled some cans. They recycled 7,600,000. So this is where your decimal point used to be, and I moved over 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 spaces, filled these all in with zeros, and that would be the number of cans that they recycled this year. Okay, very nice. Hopefully this helped you out. Bye-bye.